Hello, in this video I'm going to show you how you can install the time of day short bot on cTrader and set it up for backtesting and trading. The first thing you need to do is to actually download the file from a WhatsApp group, and I've just downloaded it here onto my desktop. Then it's really quite easy to install this into cTrader. You simply double click on the file. This opens cTrader, and as you can see, it's prompting me, do I want to install this bot? So I will say yes to continue, and now it tells me it has been successfully installed, so I'll click on OK. To actually set this up, put the parameters in there, and to start testing it and running it, I need to go to the Automate section on the screen here, so I'll click on that. And this will show all of the sample bots on the system and anything else that you've got loaded. So in the search box at the top here, I'm going to type in time. So this will find all of my time of day bots. So you can see the one that I've just added here at the bottom is time of day short with the October 19 date on it. I'm now going to click on the plus symbol here to add an instance, because we can't start testing this or running this until we've added it to a chart. So I'll click on the plus symbol, and I'm going to add this to US 30. So I'll click on US 30. And I'm going to change this chart to an M1 chart. The next thing to do is to set up the parameters that you want to use for this bot. So we've selected the Dow, so US 30. I'll click on the little parameters box here, and this is where I set up the quantity that I want to trade, the stop, the limits, and the actual time that I want to go into the short trade. For this I'm going to leave the quantity at 1, which on the indices with IC markets, 1 is the smallest quantity that you can trade. I'm going to leave the stop and limit at 200 pips, because on IC markets 200 pips on the Dow or FTSE is equivalent to 20 pips on Trade Interceptor. I also have the hour, the minute and the seconds here. So this is going to run at 14, 29 and 30 seconds. So that is the default for this bot. When you're happy with all of that, click anywhere else. The next thing to do is to actually check that this is going to run the way that you think it will. You can see, if you look on the top right hand side here, I'm on my demo account. If you click on the drop down list, you'll have the option to switch to your live account, but at the moment I'm going to leave this running on my demo account. The next tab to click on is this backtesting tab here, and this will bring you into the backtesting section. By default, the date range that it gives you is for a month, so as you can see here, from the 23rd of September to the 23rd of October. Before we can do anything else, we do just need to check one or two things here to make sure that this is going to give us accurate results. So we need to click on the little backtesting settings cog. We can leave our starting capital. I'll make that £1,000 rather than 10,000. The important thing to change here is the data. At the moment it's set to M1 bars from server, so we must click on the little drop down list and choose tick data from server. The reason we have to do this is that we want to enter a trade on a specific time, which is 14, 29 and 30 seconds, which isn't the open or close time of any candle that we have by default in the system. If we chose minute data, then 14, 29 and 30 seconds would never actually appear for us. It would either be 14.29 or 14.30, so no trade would ever be triggered. And we're going to take the commission out and set that to 0, because on IC markets for the indices it works on the spread is the money they get and they don't charge commission. So we've set that, we've got our date range here. We're now going to click on play on the right hand side here. This will go away and it's going to get all of the data, the tick by tick data from the server. So it downloads it from the server onto your local machine before it starts running the back test. It then walks through and back tests all of the data and builds this equity chart for you. If we have a quick look first of all at the trade statistics, we can see our net profit overall would be £102. We've got our profit factor, our max balance drawdown and max equity drawdown. These are quite important numbers because this shows if the bot is going against you, how much that would have decreased your balance. We've got our total number of trades is 23. Our winning trades is 15. We've got our maximum consecutive winning trades is 3. Our largest winning trade, the number of losing trades, and the maximum consecutive losing trades. The reason this maximum consecutive losing trades is also important is that if you're running this and you know so far it's only had a maximum of 3 losing trades in a row and you're getting to 4 or 5, then there's a good chance that the market behaviour has changed and this bot in its current form won't work very well going forward in the future. So that's a good time to stop it and then reassess what it's doing. If we look at the History tab, this lists every single trade that it has taken, and we can click on the trade and it will display on screen here our entry point and exit point. So we can easily skip to the winning or losing trades and see if we can look for any market behaviour or patterns that might indicate that that is a day that we don't want to run the bot. If we look at the Events tab, this will tell you exactly what it's been doing. So you can see here it's created the position, so it's gone into the trade. You've got your trade entry price, the take profit level and the stop loss level. The next entry tells you that it hit the take profit level. And we've got the gross amount and the number of pips. If we scroll down, you will see sometimes this number of pips isn't exactly 200 because on a very fast moving market there will be some slippage. Sometimes it works against us, sometimes it works for us. But unfortunately there is nothing that we can do about that. So you can see here we've ended up getting 210 pips rather than 200 on our winning trade. When you're happy with your back testing, that this is working the way you want it to work, you can expand this date range here and test back further into the past. You could change your parameters here. So you may think, what if I go for a stop of 20 and a limit of 30? Does that increase my number of winning trades or my profit? So we could make this 300, which is equivalent to 30 pips on Trade Interceptor. Then we simply come back here. So we can see here we made £102.74. If we go for a limit of 30 pips, we can now run this again. And you can see here it doesn't do as well, it only makes £23.15. So it hits our stop before our limit on more occasions. So we can see here we've got 13 losing trades and only 10 winning. So you can adjust those numbers to be really whatever you want them to be. The default strategy sets it to 200, which on the Dow was a good starting point. Phil has been going through optimizing this and optimizing the entry time and the stop and the limit, and we have come up with slightly different numbers that will provide an improvement on the initial strategy, but we will go through the optimization in a separate video all on its own. Anyway, when you're happy that this is doing what you want it to do, we can switch to our chart here, and to start it running you just simply click on your Start cBot, and this will then sit here and wait until 14, 29 and 30 seconds, at which point it will place a short trade for you with a stop of 20 and a limit of 20, and then the bot itself will not do anything else until 14, 29 and 30 seconds the following day. If you choose to, you can adjust the stop and limit on the system manually. If you want to stop your bot running, you can simply click on the Stop cBot button here again. As always, it's up to you to test this and make sure that it works in the way that you want it to do, and run it on demo so that you're totally familiar and happy with it before running it on a live account. I hope you found this useful. Any questions, pop them on the WhatsApp group and Phil or myself will do our best to answer them. Thank you.